I am Pakistani and you watch Mr. Pakistan. With this video I will teach you how you can make a fire sensing tower. This is a part 11th of this video. So this is maybe the last part of this series or second last. In this part we can make a tower which is known as a fire sensor tower. This tower includes fire sensor, arduino motor driver. Arduino are connected to the motor drivers using 5 volt ground to ground, and motor signal pins are 4, 5, 6 and 9 pin L298 and motor driver input terminals. And L298 and a dual bridge motor driver which contain two separate power supply, one for motor and one for module itself. So because my motor is working a 5 volt motor, so I also use a module power plus motor power to join together, so both work at same power. Or you can use 36 volt maximum, minimum 5 volt to 36 volt. You can use separate motors or separate power supply if you want. But my motor is worth only 5 volts, so I will bridge this 5 volt supply pin to the module its power supply line via this black wire. And modules take 5 volt and ground via this USB cable. Since I use separate USB cable, because if I connect the USB cable over here, have internet traces. Traces is very weak traces, meaning it is a very thin traces. It will not carry too much current while this board is running. So we can chop this separate USB cable. Inside contain 4 wires, some contain 2 or some contain 4. We use only red and black wires, meaning all wires will be touched, and 5 volt is not red, pin is not red wire, ground pin is not a black wire. And same 5 volt bridge to a motor point, which motor supply point via black wire, and we use a separate 5 volt ground same for coming from this USB cable, also parallel to connect to Arduino 5 volt ground. Since Arduino also creates 5 volt and ground with same power using these wires. Here Z is positive, orange is negative. And this is a sensor, which is a digital flame sensor. I set minimum sensitivity. Since when I made a demo with you in the outside, it will trigger with sunlight, so I will sense the minimum sensitivity by adjusting this potentiometer. These have 4 pins, one 5 volt, one ground, one output analog and one output digital. So I will use digital output. So why I not use analog input output, since I only detect whether fire is detected or not. It is no matter which level or which intensity the fire is lit up, it will only detect when fire is available or not. If fire is available, the output pin is connected to the digital 2 of the Arduino. So it will tell Arduino whether the fire is detected by this pin, digital pin dose I, and it will dose the Arduino to know whether fire is detected or not. If I have not detected, the sensor pin is low. If I have detected sensor pin dose high, Arduino has interrupt, which can rotate this motor as a forward direction. Here you can rotate backward or left or right according to your requirement, but you need to change it or modification inside some programming of the Arduino inside. Now it's time for testing. Now my brother is doing near the candle. It will working, although it's working very near the candle. Since I said this is low sensitivity, since I am making in this video is outside, so my room light is not very good, so that's why I will making this test outside. So due to the sunlight, it will false reading, so that's why I said minimum sensitivity. So it will only sense when flame near too close, and you can see it rotates very well. Why it's not rotating in straight direction? Since these are 3-wheeler tower. So first wheel is tester wheel. It will rotate 180 degree automatically without any motor. Since these are 3-wheeler tower, 1 wheel is tester wheel. So tester wheel cannot control anything. Since this is a free wheel, so that's why free wheel slip in wrong direction. That's why it will not rotate go forward, but it will go in little bit or circle. In the four-wheelers, this problem is not happening all, since there's four wheels controlled by motor, driver or arduino itself. And you can see it's working very well. This time my flame is extinguished, and we can go one by one. My brother can go one by one, and it's near the flame. Once near the flame, it automatically sends with certain degree or certain eye length. So if you may extend this length, you can adjust the eye sensitivity, but this experiment only perform indoor, since it will trigger due to sunlight or weather. Since this time there is no sunlight, but still outside is little bit UV rays all the time available, so that's why it may be automatically triggered. And now those two are computer screen for programming. Now I explain a code of this project, which is a task project. Constant int. First, the constant int motor pin one A equals 4. Constant int motor 1B equals 5. Constant int motor 2A equals 6. Constant int motor 2B equals 9. So here are we define the pinouts of our motor. There's first motor pin A is not 4. Setting motor, first motor setting pin is not pin 6. Setting motor first pin is magnetic pin number 5, and pin number 9 is not the setting motor setting pin. Here my Arduino, I use this way. You can use a random way to attach, and you can also change this way configuration. You can make your own configuration. But you can need to place your pin numbers, which numbers you are using to make a connection, or which pin numbers are you connecting in which direction. But keep in mind, only use digital pins for motor output signal. And constant int flame sensor pins equals 2. So there is I define the pin of sensor pin, which is a digital pin 2. So sensor output is digital output. We need digital pin for read to the signal. Here I put a digital 2 to read the signal from sensor. And then in wide setup, pin mode A1, pin mode motor 1A output, pin mode motor 1B output, pin mode motor 2A output, pin mode motor 2B output. So we put 4 the pins as a output, since we then take the data from these pins and drive motor accordingly. So that's why we need the output function in order to that data from Arduino and send to a motor driver. Motor driver can drive motor accordingly. And then we pin mode flame sensor pin input. Then we define sensor pin as a input, since we take in data from sensor pin, that's why we need a sensor pin defined as an input. In the while loop, int flame value equals digital read flame sensor pin. So it is reading the flame sensor pin digitally, meaning 0 or 1. If 0 is detected, meaning no flame. If 1 is detected, flame is there. If flame values equal I, meaning 1, or any number above than 0, the boat will run, else stop the boat. So this command check whether the status of the sensor output high or low. If low, then the boat cannot work. If high, that run the robot. There's a function which, if the board is run, then follow this function. In this function, we take the 4 pins, digital right motor, digital motor 1A, low digital right motor B, motor 1B I digital right, motor 2 A low, digital right, motor 2B high. So both the motor first two pins are low and remaining two pins high. So that's why the motor rotates in the forward direction. This time it will depend on your connections, connections, which way you connect the top connections is mostly depending on which direction is star running. But if connection is reversed, meaning former motor is 6 6 9 and first motor is 3 4, then it rotates reverse. But all we need to is change, instead you can change the priority of the motor signals. For flipping the motor signals, you only need to change these. Also you can change these variables, or to change the direction, motor rotation automatically any other direction without changing the wire into direction. Since wires are one time only worth, if you run the wire then remove it automatically free. Next time it is not stable if connected. So instead we can changing the wire to remove plug in and flip the wire. You can flip the programming these variables in the programming. That's also change the motor rotation. We cannot change any wires in the hardware wire connections. Then the one stop reboot. This is a function when it function only runs when sensor cannot detect fire. It puts all the motors 4 pins to a 0 volt rail or tie to the ground low. That stays both the motors stop. Digital right motor 1 pin 1A low, digital right motor 1B low, digital right motor 2A low, digital right motor 2B low. So it will all depend low. No motor that signal, all signal is 0 or low, motor will stop. And this video when we have next to I pause.